one of the findings, one of the details of this model, but an important detail, is the following. Not only is spending central to the story, but also spending is powerful. Okay? What I mean by that is a dollar's increase in spending causes more than a dollar's increase in GDP. This idea is called the spending multiplier. Okay, spending multiplier. Change in GDP divided by the change in spending is greater than 1. Okay? Spending goes up. GDP follows. GDP goes up by more than the spending went up. That's what we're saying here. It's simple math. Okay, this is the answer. Now we're going to explain why, but you'll know where we're going here. Let's suppose that the government decides we're going to spend $100 billion repairing highways and bridges in this country. Okay? So we're running a little bit of an experiment here. Let's draw the graph. Okay? Hint. Draw this EP line steep, and you will see the impact more. Here's our 45-degree line. Here's our initial equilibrium. Okay. EP is C plus I plus G plus net exports. Okay. Now, government spends $100 billion more. All right? Jessica, how do we show that on the graph? Government spends $100 billion more. How do we show that on this graph?
Dot goes further up.
Yeah. Well, the line shifts up by 100, right? Now, I tried to draw that parallel. I may not have succeeded, but it's supposed to be parallel. Okay? Now let's think about what's going on here. Okay? Government spending goes up by this amount. Increase G. Everybody understand that? The curve shifts up by the increase in G. Okay, the result, you can see what's going to happen. We're going to end up here at Y2. Okay, so this much of an increase in spending caused this much of an increase in GDP. Are they equivalent? No. The GDP increase is bigger than the spending increase. That's the multiplier in action. Spending is powerful. Now, the question is why? How does it work? And does this work in the real world? Okay. Answer to the last question, yes, but it's more complicated than the story I'm going to tell you here. Okay. Government spends $100 billion. Okay. What they do is they contract out with, general contractors, people that build roads and stuff. And they say, we want you to repair this stretch of road, and here's how much we're going to pay you to do it. Okay, you wouldn't have one company do the whole country. You'd have a bunch of different contracts. Okay. This is a footnote. Okay, the way to understand the multiplier is to remember that your spending becomes someone else's income. Your spending becomes someone else's income. Okay? So, we're going to talk about the contractor. It's really going to be a bunch of contractors. The contractor suddenly has $100 billion in new business. Okay? So what do? They go out and they fix the roads, right? Or they fix the bridges. How do they do that? They hire more workers. And when those workers start producing, start doing the repairs, they get paid. We can show that as this rightward move. This vertical move is the change in spending. This horizontal move is the change in income or change in production. We get $100 billion worth of new roads or repaired roads. And the process generates $100 billion in income to the workers, to the people supplying the raw materials. $100 billion in spending immediately creates, as soon as it's spent, $100 billion in income. Okay? Yes? Understand? So at this point, if we were to measure the multiplier, what would it be? It would be 1, because this went up by 100, and now we've got $100 billion worth of income generated. And we're not done. Now, your income went up by 100. How much does your spending go up by, Dave? 0.75 times 100?
75.
Yeah! How do we show that spending on the graph?
You do that every day?
No. Every time there's spending, it's a vertical. So there's the increase in consumer spending. What are you going to buy with your $100 billion?
A boat.
Okay, a boat, a bunch of boats, a fleet of boats. Now, suddenly the boat builder goes, I've hit the mother lode. Okay? Because the boat builder sees their inventories fall, which is a signal to them, raise the price of my boats and build more. How do they build more? Hire more workers. Okay? So when the new boats get built, income gets generated, new income. Okay? How much new income? 75, right? Dave spent $75 billion on his boat, and that generated $75 billion in new income for somebody. Okay? Remember, your spending becomes someone else's income. I mean, it does. Think about it. Got it? Okay. Everybody? Are we done yet? No, because we're not in equilibrium. The process continues. Those people that earned the $75 billion now increase their spending, which creates someone else's income, which creates more spending, more income, more spending, more income, more spending, more income. Fortunately, each round, the numbers get smaller. So when the dust settles, this $100 billion increase in spending generated a much larger increase in GDP, which is the point of the spending multiplier, which is, our conclusion is spending in this model is powerful.